So the surprising news that EA might have been bought by Amazon has swiftly been debunked. But in today's episode, we're going to talk about whether Amazon should really buy EA. If you've been living under a rock this whole time,
It's tough for you, man.
it's tough. I know it's very difficult.
Cost of living is going up, so I understand.
And listen, all that pressure from that rock must be hard as well.
The pressure is
Getting worse. So there was news circulating that EA was set up to be bought by Amazon. And after some time, Amazon said, yeah, I don't know about that one, Chief. Like, that's not really true.
But I might.
I thought you were going to say
No,
something.
as in they said it's not true, but I could.
Maybe I could. I mean, really, they could. So we decided to actually kind of discuss whether we feel like Amazon should actually, in fact, buy into EA. Yeah. So what do you think? Do you think that Amazon should buy EA? Do you think that's a possibility?
No.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think they should.
Why?
Simply because the fact that Amazon isn't really a ethical company, let's say.
Okay.
They're not really ethical. Obviously, politics here, which I won't get into, but most people already can tell that Amazon isn't really ethical. So if they are to buy EA, then for the most part, not saying it's true, not saying it's going to happen, but for the most part, I feel like a lot of people will get axed.
Right.
Like a lot.
Yeah.
To the point where Amazon is just going to buy EA, probably most likely dissolve it and just make it into kind of like an Amazon EA kind of thing.
Right.
Or like Amazon Arts or some nonsense like that.
Amazon Arts kind of sounds hard though.
No, it doesn't. It does not.
Exactly.
But yeah, I feel like something fishy is gonna happen.
Right.
Where it's just gonna be a mad thing. And it's not gonna look good. It's not gonna look good at all.
Yeah.
But obviously the other side of the coin is they're just gonna pump money into EA. So
let them do what they need to do.
Just let them do what they need to do, and we'll just be the beneficiaries to your madness.
Yeah.
In the sense of like you wanna make that, go ahead. Here's the bank details.
Yeah.
Do what you need to do and make a good game.
Yeah. And I think I don't know whether it was specifically EA Sports or just EA in general. But I'm pretty sure I believe it was actually just EA in general. And I think if that's the case, then Amazon could be the beneficiaries and could actually allow EA to produce a lot of good games as well.
And a lot more games.
As well. And I think the go-to when we think about EA now is sports games. We don't really think about... I think so, personally. And I think
enough.
for the most part, people would look at EA. The first game people associate with EA is FIFA.
Fairs.
It would be the sports games before they decide to say what other games are associated with it.
Not either, but fairs.
So I think then if we kind of debunk the way of thinking, it's not just going to be to do with FIFA or NFL or whatever sports games are out there under the EA conglomerate. It's actually going to be the other games that they actually develop.
Need for Speed, Mass Effect.
Exactly.
Kind of games.
Exactly that.
Bioshock and that.
Do you know what I'm saying? So they could really just pump money to allow EA to produce these games that could be then distributed into the other platformers or the other companies.
100%.
There's a really good article done by Stephen Taliby on pushsquare.com, which basically speaks about what we're talking about now. So we'll link it in the description, but I highly urge that you guys actually read it as well. But I think part of the reason why I don't think Amazon should buy EA, and the article kind of depicts this well, is that Amazon aren't really focused on gaming like Sony, Microsoft.
They're not.
And other companies.
They just want to buy.
They just
want to buy.
Exactly. It's just another service under the hundreds of services that they provide, and gaming is not
like Twitch.
And gaming is not a priority to them.
It's not.
So and
even if it is becoming a priority for them, it's kind of like, Chief, there's people who've been doing this thing. It's all like the Google Stadia. Yeah. But for Google, it's like if they close Stadia tomorrow, okay.
They still have everything else under the sun.
They will still be Alphabet, bruv.
Do you know what I'm saying? So, and it's the same thing with Amazon.
And for those who don't know, Alphabet is the actual like the thing. So you have Alphabet and then you have Google.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Alphabet is like Meta.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So you know how Meta is like has like Facebook, Instagram. Yeah. So Alphabet is like the Meta version.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That makes a lot of sense. See, the more you know. Like, we don't just talk about games, we educate y'all in gaming. Yeah, I think it's the same thing. Like, if Google was to drop Stadia tomorrow, Google will be fine.
They'll be fine.
If Amazon drop EA, they'll be fine. But Sony and Microsoft can't drop PlayStation and Xbox. That's not going to happen.
They
cannot
can't work.
That. But then it also kind of brings to question sort of the wider issue. Well, whether it's an issue or not is up for debate. But it basically speaks about how, you know how now Sony have bought Bethesda,
No,
Microsoft have...
No, they haven't.
PlayStation.
No, they haven't.
They haven't bought... Not Bethesda. Oh, my days. Widdy fiddy. Bungie. Sorry. Bungie. So you know how Sony have bought Bungie?
Yes.
And Microsoft have basically bought Activision Blizzard
Yes.
and Bethesda.
Yes.
And obviously other companies have bought into other developers as well.
Yep.
It's kind of like, okay, it's just sort of like a slice of the pie type of thing. Amazon
Yes.
are going to buy EA potentially.
Hope not though. But
yeah, I hope not either. But it kind of just brings into question like what's the state of gaming going into now? And I guess the counter argument for that is, these lot are still going to be producing games. Like, what's the worst thing?
Monopolies everywhere.
Just monopolies everywhere, and that's the issue, is that you don't want to have a monopoly of any company,
because everyone just starts becoming a uni mind, and then it's just like you just get the samey games all the time.
Get the samey games all the time as well. But also, I feel like the issue is people are scared of a lack of creativity.
Yes.
When you sort of destroy these kind of companies or these indie developers from actually producing beautiful games, and so I feel like, and it's happened a lot, like when THQ used to make amazing games and now they're no longer
RIP
a thing, RIP THQ, like people kind of look at it and think, like if these conglomerates are buying into these smaller companies or buying these developers, are they still going to allow them to have the same creative freedom? Is it just going to be exclusive to their console? Is it going to be a case where they're just going to dissolve the whole work staff and then just
gobble it up like Kirby?
Do you know what I mean? And just make boring games.
Yep.
So it's interesting, but I don't want Amazon to buy EA. It just does not make sense.
Leave them alone.
Leave them alone.
Leave them alone.
It doesn't fit their ethos at all. Even if you think of counter arguments, I'm just like, nah.
Yeah, exactly.
The only benefit that I can think of
is money.
Is money.
Is we give you the monies, you produce this game, and we will leave you alone.
Yeah.
But we will give you money.
Do you get what I'm saying?
But if it's anything more than that, then it's a bit like,
It's a bit
of a sticky situation.
And also, really and truly, I think the last good EA games, in my opinion.
But from what day?
The last good one I think was Star Wars.
Back in the day, bro.
Yeah. Like when EA...
But yeah, the most recent one was probably Star Wars.
Yeah.
That was lit.
Like The Last Jedi, like, dog. like, and like when it was...
You mean Fallen Order, mate?
What? Say again?
You mean Fallen Order, mate?
Yeah, sorry.
Last Jedi as a film, my friend?
I'm still recovering, as you can see. But back when it was EA, challenge everything. Like, when you heard that, that's when the James Bond games were... to this day, James Bond Nightfire, there's no better James Bond game than that.
GoldenEye, but anyway.
I think Nightfire is better than GoldenEye.
GoldenEye, but anyway.
GoldenEye is a classic, yes.
GoldenEye, but
anyway. I think bar for bar, James Bond Nightfire is better than GoldenEye.
Still GoldenEye.
GoldenEye it's just a classic because that's a classic James Bond film.
Still GoldenEye.
It's a classic game, like cool, like.
Still GoldenEye,
Big Whoop. Actually, no, it's not Big Whoop. That's a Godfather game. I'll pay its respects.
Still GoldenEye, bruv.
But Nightfire, amazing.
Doesn't always talk about still GoldenEye,
I do.
bruv.
I defo do. Come on, don't play with me, cuz. Don't play with me, boy.
Still GoldenEye, bruv.
But yeah, let us know what you think. Do you think that Amazon should buy EA? Even if they do, what benefits do you think that will bring to the company? Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? And if you do, why? And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. There's not really much else to say aside from that. We've kind of spoken about how we feel. And yeah, it should be interesting to see what the next couple of years of gaming bring, especially with these companies potentially buying into these developers as well. So yeah, that's been it on another episode of Challenge Player One. I've been Archie.
I've been Yuri.
Stay safe.
Stay in the game.
Ooh.